Salam. So we have big issue regarding jumping. So what we get is a lot of athletes because they're so used to heel striking. It means that they're reliant on their joints and their skeleton, and their muscles, namely their lower body muscles, are severely underdeveloped. Sounds ridiculous, even for people like long distance jumpers, high jumpers, basketball players, football, you name it, their leg muscles are severely underdeveloped because when they run into a jump, so you got like, you can say, oh, okay, like basketball players, fine, but we're talking about people who make a living from jumping. So you got long distance jumpers, so they're just trying to jump as far ahead as they can. What they'll do is they'll sprint, and then their first step into the jump, so let's say just a single jump, right? Not the triple jumpers, although they do it too. So they'll run, they sprint into their first step, and then go heel first, which is a big mistake because we know just from skipping or falling down that we don't hit our heels on the ground when we're trying to like transfer energy. This is a muscular movement. So what they're doing is they'll take a sprint to try and generate a lot of energy so that they could take that into their body and explode out, land as far as they possibly can. So this sprint, heel first. As soon as you go heel first, you're wasting a huge amount of energy. So this becomes highly inefficient. So just just from this alone, I don't need to even like do anything further. So I can tell that my muscles are not really engaged, like barely. But as soon as I change the forefoot and I do this, I can bounce. It's nice. I see good energy absorption and explosion. So it's absorb and explode. So it works really well. Now, if I was to try and do it on my heels, you can kind of do it, but it's terrible. Way better forefoot, heel, straight up stupid. So as you're sprinting into your jump, you should do a forefoot load and then a forefoot explosion. But what they do is they'll sprint, they go heel first, then they go forefoot, and then they jump, which is makes it a two-step process instead of what it could be a one-step, highly efficient movement. This also happens with basketball players, which is one of the reasons they have so many meniscus problems, which is the padding in your knee. So that tears, ruptures, it just gets messed up. So what they'll do is they got a ball and they want to shoot. So they'll run, and then they'll go heel first on their first step, and then they go heel first, then they load up their forefoot. The next leg comes in as a forefoot, so that doesn't go heel. What they don't do is they don't go heel, forefoot. What they do is they run, they go heel, forefoot. This leg comes in forefoot, and then they jump and shoot. So it becomes like heel, forefoot, and then go up. Obviously, they dunk the same. So they run with the ball, heel, forefoot. If they're a 2-foot jumper, 1-footed is even worse because it's similar to the long distance jumpers. So they'll run up and they'll plant their heel, then they go explode up, which is a recipe for injury. This is how you get wear and tear, many injuries, especially with ankles. They got like foot problems, knee problems, tearing their ACL. This is why. It's just using your joints, but I would say using your joints, I say you're abusing your joints. Yeah. The other case is high jumpers. Now you will get certain high jumpers, they're not many, but certain ones will actually jump forefoot. The reason why it's easy for them to do is because they're not going at a full sprint to try and go. You'll see them coming slowly. They'll almost like brace themselves for the jump, and then they'll jump up. Many of them still heel strike when they do that, so they might even run up forefoot, and then on the jumps leg, they'll plant the heel, and then they'll go which yet again is highly inefficient. You're wasting a lot of energy. So, but the reason people do this is because we're used to heel striking when we walk, when we jog and run. We just don't feel comfortable uh, in our leg muscles to be able to go 4 foot straight away. So you just jump 4 foot, go. We feel more comfortable going heel first. It gives us some amount of control. The main thing is that, yeah, so when we're walking, we heel strike. So our bodies, for our jumps, is not ready for that 4 foot loaded jump. That's why we go heel and then 4 foot and then go. It's a two-step process. Whereas it's really, it comes down to a lot to do with just the way we coach, our instincts, our severely underdeveloped muscles. Like our legs can't handle going to a full sprint, going purely 4 foot and then springing up. Like a lot of players, it's one of the reasons they tear muscles, like the Achilles. You get quads, they pull their hamstrings, pulling their groins, stuff like that. These muscular tears are as a result of underdevelopment because they don't even walk right. So when they do these extreme techniques, when they are like exploding up, using their 4 foot a lot, sprinting, moving side to side, getting athletic stance, shifting around, they're not doing this muscular movement at a lower level. They're not used to it. So when they do it at a high level, it's a recipe for muscle tears because your muscles aren't used to it. It's like, yeah, that's the right way to do it, but you're not at the level where you can do it effectively. And if you keep doing it, it's mostly because it's not that people do it as an exercise, like just trying to get healthy. They do it as a sport, as competition. And when you're competing, you're not thinking about, oh, let me do this technique efficiently and perfectly well, with perfect form. No, you're competing, you're trying to win, you're against other people. You will get to a point where you start abusing your body and you don't really notice till something goes wrong and they're like, oh, it's a freak accident. It's not. It's just wear and tear, using things the wrong way. And then as they get weaker and weaker, one day they just snap. And then there goes your ACL, there goes your meniscus, your Achilles, your hamstring pull, and so on. You're just not used to it. So when you do it on a high level, it's done. So jumping is a big problem, and we need to like really focus on our walk, and that'll aid us in being able to jump better, more efficiently, strength, excellent technique, and so forth. Well, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.